Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jason, and guess what happened tonight? The Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley event. Guys, we sure do love the boxing events. Now, this event was pretty fun, but it was also pretty long. Just like this hair. Okay, enough talking about my hair. So, before the fight began, there was undercards. So, let's quickly run it down. And our first one was Tommy Fury against Anthony Taylor. Now, Tommy Fury, he does win by an unanimous decision as it goes to full rounds. And in my opinion, I think it wasn't a very good performance from Tommy Fury. And Anthony Taylor, he just kind of runs out of gas and he doesn't really throw that many punches. So I think if Tommy Fury wants to go against Jake Paul, he's gonna have to like step it up from this fight, because I don't know. In this one, he was like in a work in progress, but if he wants Jake Paul, he's gotta go high. He's gotta be better than himself. Anyways, our next one was Ivan against Montana. Now, it was a good, pretty physical game, but it does end in the 7th round as Pedro Diaz, Ivan's coach, ends the fight, and Montana Love had a spectacular fight as he wins, as Ivan gets his back-to-back fight lost. I feel bad for Ivan, but you know what? He's from Russia. He'll come back bigger, so live up Russia. And then our next one was Daniel Dubois against Cusumano. Now, Daniel Dubois was all over Cusumano, and that right hand and the combination was really just ripping Cusumano, and it ends just like that in the first round. So, I mean, first round KO. Good job on Daniel Cusumano. Big up UK, let's go. And finally, we had Teego versus Glado. I think I already made that joke. I think I made that joke with the last video. So, I don't think it's funny anymore. So, our last fight was Mercado versus Serrano. I don't even know. Who cares? It was Serrano who won. I really don't care. She's from Puerto Rico, so cool. Anyways, our big fight had finally approached, and it was Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Now, Jake Paul, he was pretty much all over Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley, he had a little couple punches there from the first 3 rounds, and Tyron Woodley, his stance, it was a little weird. It was a bit of like Ben Askren, but a little stiff in the mix, I think. That's in my opinion, but his stance, a little weird. His hands, his defense was just weird, okay? It was weird, but you know what? It's his first professional boxing, and surprisingly, I think this is the first time Jake Paul lost a round in round 4, because round 4, it was going to Tyron's ways, and Jake Paul, he was stumbling, he even fell, and he was about to fall off the ring, and the net just saved him. So surprisingly, Tyron Woodley, after the 4th round, he kind of did turn up the pace, but after the 4th round, the 5th round, it started going back to Jake Paul's ways. But Tyron Woodley, he was getting there, and Jake Paul, the gas was kind of running out, and Tyron, he was just eating the punches, and he was just going up. The confidence was going up there. But unfortunately, it does go to the full 8 rounds, and Jake Paul wins by a split decision, and Tyron Woodley, he loses his first fight. But you know what? It's a good first fight. But I think, in my opinion, Tyron Woodley, if the inexperience wasn't there, he probably could have had a run for Jake Paul's money, to be honest. He could have made an upset, but the inexperience was there. I mean, there was the combinations, there were there was one point where he hit Jake Paul, and then if he wasn't this rookie, I guess, he would make this other combination. But you know what? I don't know. I don't box, so I don't really know. So, yeah, the inexperience was there, but Tyron Woodley, 39 years old. He was pretty good in his first, pretty average in his first boxing debut. So, good on Tyron Woodley. And Tyron Woodley, unfortunately, he lost. But that might not be the end, because unfortunately Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley did have an agreement, and that is if Tyron Woodley gets a tattoo of his name, they'll have a rematch. Because apparently Tyron Woodley didn't think he lost. I don't know. He had some good arguments, I guess. I guess he was like, oh, I ate the punches. My stamina was good. He fell and stumbled. It was alright, I guess. The argument was good. But I don't know. I don't feel like Jake Paul is coming back for round two. I'd rather see more than KSI and versus Jake Paul. That's a fight that I've been wanting for about almost 2 years. I don't really care about Tommy Fury, Jake Paul. I don't really care about Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul too, but I guess it's happening because Tyron Woodley has to only tattoo his name somewhere in his body. It's like I'm watching a Jake Paul bet. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen, to be honest. And you know what? It was fun. If it does happen again, oh well, then let me pay $40 for another event again. So yeah, guys, that was it for the events. Short, sweet, simple. It was alright. I think by the judges' scoring, I'll have to give it an Evan Mobley out of 10. It was pretty good. See, just like the Cavaliers this season. They might be good. I don't know. Probably not. So yeah, guys, join me in the next boxing event where Jake Paul fights a retired bowling alley or a cricketer. Either one of those two. Apparently that's a good fight for Jake Paul. So yeah, guys, big up, subscribe. You don't, I cry. Alright.